To enter stats for a baseball or softball game, click on the Team Schedule button. This screen lists the entire schedule for your team, but our example only shows 2 games. The schedule information video can be used to enter a more complete schedule. Pick the game for which you want to enter stats. In this case, it is the AC Central Abington game, and click Edit to enter the game. This screen contains information about the opponents, date, time, and type of game, which was previously entered when the schedule was prepared. This video will show you how to enter the results on game day. Scroll down to the score by innings, and first for the away team, enter 2 runs in the first inning and 2 runs in the 7th inning. Then scroll down to the home team and give them 1 run in the first inning, 1 run in the 3rd inning, and 1 run in the 7th inning. Next, verify the number of innings played, and in most cases the number will be 7. If you have extra inning games, you will just add 1 for each extra inning you were involved in. And then when you are finished entering the score by innings, scroll to the top of the page and click on Schedule. You are now ready to enter individual stats. To enter individual statistics, pick the game for which you want to enter stats and click on the team. In this case, it's AC Central versus Abington, and we will start with entering the stats for AC Central. So click on AC Central, and you will next see the roster and statistics page showing all zeros in the stat columns. Click on a player's name, for example, Ryan Bonds, and you can start entering his numbers. So give him 1 game played, 2 at-bats, 1 run, 2 hits. Now notice there's no place for singles, and this value is calculated by subtracting extra base hits from the total number of hits. Continue with Ryan Bonds by adding 1 RBI, 1 double, and 1 stolen base. When you have completed entering Ryan Bonds' stats, you click on Roster at the top of the page to enter in the next player. The roster and stats return to the screen, and you are ready to enter the next hitter. In this case, let's pick Tim Duncan, and his stat screen appears. Tim gets a game played. He gets 3 at-bats, 1 walk, 1 strikeout, and we have now finished his stats. We're ready to go on to the next player. Again, we click on Roster again at the top of the page, and we see the players and statistics that we have entered in so far. We will not complete all the individual stats for this team since the first 2 examples are repeated until the entire team has been entered. Again, our example is for baseball, but it also works the same using these same techniques for softball. The next group of statistics is for the pitcher. In our example, Dan Weeks is the starting pitcher. Click on Hitting at the top right half portion of the page, and that allows you to change to the pitching statistics. So click on Pitching, and you're now ready to enter in his information. Click Yes for pitched, Yes for started, and Yes for complete game. Pitched a total of 7 innings. He allowed 2 runs, and he allowed both of them earned, 3 hits allowed, 1 of those being a double. He allowed 2 walks in the game, and he had 5 strikeouts. He also hit 1 batter and had 1 wild pitch. Click Yes for win for Dan Weeks, and also 1 for stolen bases allowed. Now, Dan Weeks was the only pitcher for this team, but additional pitchers could have been added by clicking on the roster and doing the same thing for those particular players. Now click on Roster to go back to the roster page, and the last baseball category to enter is fielding. We get to that by clicking on the pitching button, and the pop-up box will allow us to go to fielding. Now we'll enter the fielding information for each player, and in this example we will use Andy Switch as our player. In this example, Andy had 9 putouts as the first baseman. He had 1 assist, 1 error, and he participated in 1 double play. After completing this player, click on Roster, and you can see the stats and players. You will repeat this for each player that has any fielding stats in the game. We will now return to the schedule and be prepared to enter stats for the other team. Click on the AC Central team in the top left corner, and you can now select Abington. We will not repeat the instructions for entering the opposing team stats since the procedure is the same as it is for the first team. We are asking the home team to provide this information for a post-dispatch box score prior to 9:30 p.m. each night. Visiting coaches can always edit the numbers, and we will call upon visiting teams if the home team does not report.